Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. I'm Zemo, the dad in DPS, and today we're doing something a little different and talking about the Atomic Shop, and more specifically, the Sawtooth bundle. Now, this bundle looks absolutely amazing, and I'm going to be honest, I've already bought it, so yeah, it is going to be a rather fun talking about it and showing you guys the ins and outs of it. So first off, what the bundle includes is the skull tower here. An interesting thing about the skull tower is got like a big Terminator head on here. This door is actually calculated as a separate thing. So if you put the tower down, you need to attach this door. It doesn't just come attached to it. It doesn't say that down here, but it doesn't come attached. So if you do get this bundle, the door is separate. You will need to attach it separately. Then you get the Blood Eagle throne, which is really cool. It's got all these exhausts attached to it, so I'm assuming when you sit in it, it just creates a lot of smoke and a lot of fire, which should be interesting. We're gonna, show my live reaction of that essentially. Then we have the Blood Eagle standard, which is very like Knights of Old type looking. I love it. I love everything about it. It is just a very, very niche and very aesthetically pleasing thing for me. I absolutely love all this stuff. The Blood Eagle stuff is usually really good. Then we have the Sawtooth outfit itself. As you can see, you've got a very knight-esque looking helmet, as well as a very knight-esque looking outfit. And then your last two items are the Chattering Teeth backpack flare, which I'm really not sure how that fits in. And then you have the Broken Footlocker loot bag. But we're going to show you each of these items individually and all together. And if you do enjoy these types of videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're home. Now, as you can see, the skull tower is pretty damn interesting. You can see up close, it looks a bit like a Terminator head, and it's got some, features that look like they're parts of power armor helmets and whatnot. It's just a very cool looking area, and like you've got skulls hanging off it. There's all sorts of different things. And then if we go up to the top, you can see you have this balcony bit here, but we're going to explore that more in depth. But overall, it's got that kind of very Castle Grayskull He-Man look to me. It's just this very, very cool building, and I love it. It's a very similar setup to the, I think it's the Brotherhood of Steel tower, but it does have its own aesthetic, and you see these cool flags on the side. So let's have a little looky-loo inside it. So as you enter, you come to your first floor, and it's pretty basic. There's nothing really incredibly different about the Brotherhood tower. The ladder, I believe, is on the opposite side from it though, because the Brotherhood version, which I also have, has a ladder going up there and it goes around in the similar path. Then as we go up, you come to your secondary floor with this kind of mesh grating at the bottom, which would be quite good for, crafting areas. It really just depends on how you want to use this, if you want it as part of a overall larger structure or, its own thing. Then when we come outside, you can see the railings you've got. Instead of regular railings, you can pretty much get on top of these and walk around on them, and it's basically chains. It's a very interesting thing to have. Instead of regular railings, you can go right round both ways, meeting at the skull. However, if you go round this way, you can see that there is this interesting little hook with the gears, and as if you were pulling stuff up for some reason, which is an interesting kind of thing. You could put something cool here. I really don't know why that's in there. I don't think it functions. Let's actually just double check that just in case I'm being stupid. Yeah, I don't think it functions or does anything, but it's just a cool little addition. Like if you lock the gates, then you can get stuff still back up onto the roof so that you can survive a siege, I suppose. I think that's maybe the logic behind it. But then we can go to the upper floor. And I've popped some stuff down here already, but you can see we've got little gaps in here. You can look out from them. There's a kind of balcony type-esque thing. You can just oversee everything. And it's overall just like a little arena, a little fighting arena, or a little throne room, depending on what way you want to go about it. I really, really love this pack, and I love the aesthetic of everything that's in this. I'm looking forward to finding items to fill it. So, the next item we come to is the Blood Eagle throne. Now, as you can see, it is primarily made of scrap and scrap metal. You've got the massive tyres here on either side that have got red paint on them, as well as the used car seat that they're using for the main part. I don't quite know what that's meant to be, but it looks like the kind of grill from the front of a car, I suppose. Then we have these exhaust pipes and a load of other scrap metal that's on here. Now, a nice little touch that I think, and it's on the banner as well, is the little rib cage that's on here. Now, the reason why it's a nice touch is if you don't know what a Blood Eagle actually is in history, I wouldn't necessarily say Google it, but it is essentially a torture method that involves the rib cage. So it's a pretty cool little addition to it. It's a very funky looking throne made of just scrap iron and other cool stuff. And if we sit in here, you're seeing that it then has this cool aesthetic where the flames come out of the side, and you're seeing a lot of cool stuff here. Now let's go into photo mode just to give you, oh, we went through the floor, just to give you the full idea of it. And it is just very cool. A very cool aesthetic for genuinely one of the best looking bundles I've seen in a long while. It is just overall just, I love it. I love everything about it. So next we're going to talk about the Blood Eagle banner. Now you can see up here it's got some eagle wings made out of scrap, much like the actual throne does. And you've got the same Blood Eagle symbol in there with the rib cage. And it looks like it's made of 5 different bits of fabric that have been stitched together, which kind of adds to the whole scavenging for scrap and different things. And very medieval looking, in my opinion. I absolutely love the look of this thing, and the Blood Eagle aesthetic is one of my favourites in the game. You know, the regular Blood Eagles running around are kind of crappy, but the actual cosmetic items you get for them are stunning. I love this banner, and I'll definitely be using it in a lot of my camps in the future. Now, I don't think it would be a good idea to review this without talking about the outfit. Now, as you can see with the helmet, we have a very cool Knight-esque looking helmet with a completely metal faceplate with some eye holes in there, as well as an old style kind of closing helmet part. Obviously it doesn't close, but it's got these kind of saw blades on there, and it just looks overall awesome. Then we've got the kind of consistent Blood Eagle used tire type motif on the shoulder pad here, which is just absolutely awesome. I think that's a very good addition, because in the apocalypse, you know, the best source of rubber and, you know, stuff that would be able to absorb damage would be tires. They'd be lying about everywhere, and if you're not using cars, then why the hell not? You can see loads of spikes sticking out there, the whole raw scrap iron that you've just stuck on and used as like a pauldron. Then you've got the other side, which is similar idea, and I think that top part is very similar to some radar armor that you get in the game. The kind of, I don't know what it'd be a piece of, but it just looks really cool, and it's got the Blood Eagle logo on there. You've got the little vents on the breastplate part, as well as what looks like essentially a robot arm. I mean, I know it's not a robot arm. Actually, is it a robot arm? That wrist looks a bit too thin. Is that meant to be a robot arm? I think that's actually a robot arm. Like, that's legitimately, yeah, that's a robot arm. Look at the fingers. So in this outfit, you are missing an arm. You're actually missing an arm in this outfit. That's such a cool addition. And then obviously, as we move to the legs, we've got some more rubber on the legs for the additional armor, and the feet have these little spikes on the bottom as well. Luckily, by the looks of it, we haven't lost a leg, but you're seeing that there is just some awesome looking armor on there. And overall, I think it's a very intimidating outfit. I think they did a stunning job. And this is the thing about Fallout 76. The people who create the cosmetics in the game are always on point. I've never really been disappointed with cosmetics. Don't get me wrong, there's some that aren't really my style, but I've never physically been disappointed with them, because some of them are just absolutely stunning, and this one is no exception. Now, before we move on, an interesting thing you can actually do with this helmet is it actually stacks with certain items, mainly in the glasses section. So, as you can see, we've got the Mothman glasses here, and if we pop them on, they will also appear on top of the item. So if you want to use this in tandem with certain goggles and certain things, and this isn't a very good one, but it's a good example of the kind of things that overlap, you can also put them on. Granted, I kind of like it as it is. The eye patches go underneath the mask, but there are possibly a lot more combinations in game that you could potentially have here. Because as you can see, like the Raider Pathfinder mask sort of comes through it. So there's lots of different things you could do and maybe make your own cool aesthetic style using different things. So it kind of just makes it look slightly different. Next up, we have the chattering teeth motif that you get for your backpack, the Flair. Now, when it comes to these, I'm not going to really say much. There isn't too much that you can say about Flairs. They're kind of cool. Probably not my favourites, definitely not ones I'm going to keep on, but, you know, they're there and they are a thing. I'm not quite sure why they're on here, I'll be honest. So the last thing we're going to talk about in this video is the broken footlocker loot bag. Now, it's a loot bag. There's not really much to talk about with it, but you can see it's got keep out written at the top of there. You've got your pants and your gloves sticking out of it because, again, it's a broken footlocker. It's not a regular footlocker. It's got a busted lock and therefore is always open, which explains why people can loot from the loot bag. Other than that, there's not really a huge amount to say about it. It's quite a cool little loot bag. If you've got the basic one and you don't have anything else, it's definitely something you could use. I believe there are better loot bags in the game, but that really falls down to personal preference. Either way, it's a good addition to this bundle, and you're already getting some awesome, awesome items in it. So, what are my final thoughts on the Blood Eagle Sawtooth bundle? Now, I'm going to say right off the bat, this hits my aesthetic feeling very, very hard. I love the look of this bundle. I love the look of the cosmetics. I love the look of the camp items. Is it worth 1800 atoms? In the case of if you don't think that this is the bear's nipples, the greatest thing since sliced bread, then probably not. There are a lot of things that you can get in the Atomic Shop that you might get more value out of. Some of the items here have functionality that items that already exist. I mean, there's multiple thrones in the game, there are multiple towers in the game, so it really depends on what you're looking for aesthetically. And if this is what you're looking for aesthetically, if you're looking for Mad Max meets the medieval, then this is right up your alley. I mean, I love the addition of essentially a robotic arm on this cosmetic. This is such a cool cosmetic. Even without the helmet, it is still a cool cosmetic. And even without the body parts, it's still a cool cosmetic look. I love everything that we got in this bundle. Granted, the teeth and the loot bag aren't really that important to me. It's the other stuff. But the tower combined with all the other stuff, it is just tickled my aesthetic flair in just the right way, that it's given me so many things I want to do and find so many different items that I can try and put into this to make a cool looking camp. But that's just my fault. What do you guys think about this bundle? Is it something that you are really eager to get, or do you think it's just not that interesting? Either way, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you all next time in the Wasteland.
Through the dark, moonlight's dimly shining, a shadow creeping. Feel your hearts entwining, a twisted mind, seeking prey to devour. In the dead of the night, he gains more power. His bloodshot eyes, the fire burning within, a predator lurking ready to commit his sin. He moves in silence, you can't hear a sound, chasing shadows, hunting till you're found. Chasing shadows, he's the hunter in the night.